And now we're going to go into facial rejuvenation. If you're a massage therapist, we need to say facial rejuvenation. If you're an esthetician taking this course, you can call it a facial. So massage therapist is facial rejuvenation or facial massage. Estheticians, it will be called, you're going to offer a facial to your client. With my techniques, I'm just going to show you the basics. So if you're an esthetician and you want to add more to this, you are welcome to create your own experience for your client. And even massage therapists, make each treatment that you do uniquely yours. What clients love are names that evoke relaxation, beauty. So devise your own name for what you're going to do in your own practice. It's a great way to market to your clients. But the main thing is, when you work on the face, facial cupping works. Your face is a muscle. You go to the gym, you work out, you work the rest of your body. But what about the face? Facial cupping is that answer. I'm going to be 70 years old in July, and I love facial cupping. I cannot facial cup a lot because I have rosacea, so that's one of the contraindications. But I do work the muscles in my face, and I use a gua sha tool when I do work. But for most of you, facial cupping is going to give your face a new lease on life. You're going to increase the elasticity of your face. You're going to increase the collagen production. As you know, everything starts to decline as we age. But it gives your face that new lease on life. You get plump skin, it's radiant, you'll glow, you'll feel good, and that's the most important thing. So what are the benefits of facial cupping? It increases the circulation to the skin. You're bringing in fresh blood. You're taking away the toxins that get built up. You get toxins from the food you eat, from the air, your environment, from stress. And facial cupping draws that out. It enhances the absorptions of your facial products. So if you use products alone, they're doing a job, but the main benefit of them is being lost unless facial cupping is used. Once you use facial cupping, the power of your creams and your lotions and serums intensifies greatly. It reduces the edema that we get. Sometimes we sleep very poorly and our face is bloated. Sometimes it's what we eat or what we drink that causes our face to bloat, or certain medical conditions. And facial cupping helps drain that out of the face. Scar tissue also soften on the face. If you have facial scars, facial cupping is wonderful for that. With all the benefits that it does implore, I can't understand why anybody would not want to have facial cupping done on them. So let's get started. I'm going to apply just a little bit more lubrication to my model, because you want to make sure that the cups slide very easily on her face and they don't drag. And I don't know about you, but I love when somebody does this to my face. It just feels so relaxing. There you go. Okay, and I'm gonna... There's a lot of steps to facial cupping, but it's easy. We are going to start with standard lymphatic clearing, which we've already done, and we don't need to redo it again because we're going to do it at the end. But basically, we start from the bottom of the jaw and we work our way up. We work our way back down. It can't be easier. So let's get started. We're going to do cup appropriate, and I think this is, we're also going to get the smaller cup because she does have such a little piece. All right. So we're going to get second to largest, and we're going to start directly under the client's jaw. And that cup is way too big. So we're just going to go ahead and switch. Once again, suction release and suction release, suction release and suction release. You want to make sure that you do not go past the little bump at the end of the jaw. Feel it. Don't go past, because if you suction release over here, 9 chances out of 10, your clients are going to take a nice long nap. And that would not be good. So we're going to go ahead and let's do this again. Suction release, suction release. Her face is so nice and tight. I don't know what she's doing, but keep it up. All right. Then you can take and then stabilize and drag. Stabilize the skin and then drag. So when I was dragging, did you feel it kind of like a little crunch right in here? Yeah. Okay. When I was dragging this cup along, we could feel like a little crunchy in the base of her jaw, which is great that we've gotten that and we were able to break it up. So that's basically where skin was sticking. You had like a little bit of adhesion down on your jaw. And we just broke it up, so that's good. Now we're going to come here, suction release, suction release, suction release, suction release. And then we're going to drag. And make sure you really anchor. So people that have skin that is, that they're starting to lose their elasticity, instead of holding my finger back here, I'm going to keep up with that cup, just so we're not pulling the skin. Okay, so we're going to come up now, and we're going to work on laugh lines. She doesn't have any. You look great. No Botox, no nothing, just nice healthy living? Yes. All right. Well, if she had laugh lines, we were go ahead and treat right in here. So what you want to do is you want to come in with your little cup and you're going to suction and release, suction and release, suction and release, suction and release, suction and release. And depending how deep those laugh lines are, you can repeat this 3 to 5 times. Usually I've even gone up to 7, it just depending how deep they are. So with each one of these suctions, I'm actually increasing the collagen in my client's face in that area. So what we don't want to do then is pull it out. So after I've repeated several rounds of this, we'll do 3. We want to come to the side of that, and this is called flicking. And we're just going to kind of come to the side and just flick off any type of residue that's left over, but not pull the collagen that we've just stimulated in that laugh line. And if it feels kind of different for your client, it's like a little kiss on the little fish kiss. My clients say it feels like fish kisses. Okay, so now we're going to come into the lips, and for the lips can be a challenge. The oval cup that we have works really well. In fact, this oval cup I sell to my clients, and you create the suction, you place it on your lips, and your lips plump up, and they can keep it there. And they walk around the house actually all day plumping up their lips. And it gives them the nice full Julia Roberts lips. But it's done naturally and not with collagen injections. She's got nice full lips, but we're just going to work on the lower lip a little bit, basically create suction and just hold up. And I usually count to 10. So we only did it one time, and I can already see that that lip has actually started to plump up. And we'll do it again. We'll do 3 passes. The trick is, do not hit the client's teeth. That would not be good. There we go. Oh, even more. Ooh, you're getting kissable lips. There you go. There we go. Now the upper lip is going to be a little bit more problematic. As you age, your lips tend to want to thin, especially your top lip. So the way I figured out to work around this, I take the lip and I just lift it up. I tell them to relax their mouth. There you go, a little separation, and kind of peel that top lip back. And you can barely see there, but there is tissue inside of the cup. And then we're going to release, tissue, hold for 10, and release, tissue in the cup, hold for 10, and release. So in an actual cupping session, facial cupping session in your practice, you can do anywhere from 3 to 5 rotations of this, depending on what you're trying to achieve with your client. But this looks really nice. Okay, so I am going to get size appropriate cup for you, and we're going to start in here, and we're just going to start dragging toward, and this is actually starting to contour your face. So I am going under that zygomatic arch, coming in and drawing out. This is really allowing, encouraging those muscles to tighten back up again. You can see how her skin's pinkening up. This looks great. I'm going to try to stay away from the collagen production around her little laugh line. Okay. Bringing it down. So if you have a client that, oh, I'm sorry, that you have a client that has a lot of facial edema, at this point I would take their head to the side and do the standard lymphatic clearing to drain it out before I'd even go up into the eyes. So working on the eyes, you want to make sure that your client's eyes are shut, and they're usually shut in a real life situation. And before you even start using that cup there, you want to come in with your finger and just kind of like feel under the eyelid. That lets the client know that you're going to be working on that area so that they don't open their eyes and jolt awake when you start to use the cups on it. So it's very important that when you work under the eye, that it is only suction and release. It's never going to be suction, release, and then glide, only suction and release. So people that have those little puppy dog eyes that are, they tend to have bags hanging down. We're going to show you a little different technique that we're going to do for those clients. Here we go. So when you start to do this, it's very important that you want to have the edge of your cup all the way up to the client's lower eyelid. If you don't do that, people that do have a lot of fluid under their eyes, they tend to develop this second ridge, so they're going to have one puffy bag right here, and then they'll have actually another line. So it's really important that you get that up really close to their eyes. There we go. And for people that do have eye bags, you want to come under them then and draw it out. It's really important that you draw that fluid out. Cupping tends to pull fluid to an area, and you want to make sure that you move it out of the way. So you use these cups to actually contour your client's face. She's a little red here, so we're going to leave her alone in that area. But that's a great way to work on any type of the puffiness around your eyes. Next, we're going to come up on either side of the temple. And we were talking about contraindications before. Generally, we always told you that you don't put a cup on the temple. Moving cups are okay. You just don't want to put a stagnant cup on the temple. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your fingers, pull out, and then that is giving that tissue a little bit of a stretch. Come in with your cup and just massage back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And this feels really good. If you have clients that tend to have migraines or tension headaches, there's a little bitty divot, back to my divots again, there's a little divot right next to the eye. So if you feel very lightly with your finger, this is a divot. If you have those headaches and you go to an actual acupuncturist, they will actually needle right there to help you with your headache, there and on the side of your temple and your hairline. So by doing this one motion in this area, you're hitting that acupressure point, and it feels really good, and it can actually, you can use this without a facial routine, just for your clients that have headaches. Okay, going on, we're coming up now to the eyebrow, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to suction and release, suction, release, suction, release, and suction, release. Sometimes eyebrows can be a little bit harder to work, depending on your client and how much eyebrow hair they actually have. And if you can, I love to just slide that cup right over the eyebrow. It feels so good. The trick is to hold it by the base so you don't lose that suction. All right, and I can do it above it as well. Okay. All right, moving upward. Next is the forehead. So we have two things we needed to consider. If you have a client that has a lot of the frown lines, especially if they're working on a computer a lot, and they just start to develop those frown lines, and they want you to address that, then there is one way you can address those, and we're going to discuss it in just a second. The other is if they are prone to having a tension headache. So those clients that are working on a computer, creating a frown in their face, a lot of times their forehead becomes so incredibly tight that the actual layer of the outer layer of the skin actually starts to adhere to the frontal bone. So for those clients that are experiencing those headaches, loosening that up and freeing it means more to them than addressing any type of laugh lines that they, frown lines that they may have on your forehead. But if you're addressing those frown lines, what you do is you want to come in and come up to the hairline and just give yourself a little bit more skin to work with by pushing that forehead up. And then you can come in and just do the same thing you did on the laugh line of suction and release. Suction, release, suction, release, suction, release, and suction, release. You can do each pass 3 to 5 times depending on what you feel. And then when you're done, come down, switch cups, and draw that down and to getting ready to take it through the lymphatic ducts. But if your client is prone to the headaches, I get a little bit larger cup. I'm going to create a little bit more skin on the forehead so this has something to adhere to. Suction on the third eye. We're going to go down a cup size. And sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. Let's try it again with this. All right, I don't like that. Let me try this one again. All right, I cannot get suction, which is not unusual. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. She's got a very prominent forehead, and I have a feeling it's just knocking off the cups in that spot, but I'm able to grab it a little bit up here. And if I can, I'm just going to keep pulling and pulling and pulling and trying to get that looser on the forehead. Sometimes the silicone cups that I sell to my clients tend to work a little bit better on the forehead because they're more malleable. Let's try this and see if we can get this to work. Nope. Well, I guess you're going to be out of luck. Your forehead will have to stay tight. If you have the gua sha tool or a gua sha tool, that can be used on the forehead, and that can be used to help loosen that skin that is on the forehead itself. Or just a cup without any type of suction can be used, and which actually feels very good in itself. Okay? Finally, we're going to bring that down. Cup size appropriate, cup size appropriate, cup size appropriate. Keep bringing everything down. And we're going to end with our standard lymphatic clearing. So we're going to get a cup size appropriate cups on the table. Turn the client's head to the side. Suction. Suction and release. Suction, release, suction, release, suction, release. And pull it all out. And that is how you would do a facial for your clients. So let's go over it again step by step so we don't miss any points. Starting with a standard lymphatic clearing. You're going to come then, go under the jaw, suction and release, and finally dragging the cup, drawing it over, come to the top of the jawline, the same thing, suction and release, and then anchoring and dragging your cup over. You're going to come in, suction and releasing. If you're going to work on those laugh lines, as many passes as you need. Come to the side and flick anything residue off. You can come in and work the lips. Suction and release, hold for 10 seconds. Release, bottom lip, top lip. Then you're going to come in and you're going to start drawing out from the nose to the ears. And you really pick where you're going to work because you can really contour your face depending on where you position your cup, how you drag, and how many times you drag that out. You're going to come in and you're going to work under the eyes, depending on what is there. If your client has any puffiness under the eyes, you need to make sure that you're going to clear out underneath here. But for clients that don't have any, make sure you come right up against the eyelid. Suction and release, suction, release, suction, release. If they do have eye puffiness in their eyes, you can come under it and draw that out. Come up to the eyebrow, address the forehead, take everything down, draw it out, lymphatic clearing, and you're done. And you're going to have a happy client.